When we start introducing a new behavior, I'm not actually cueing him into that behavior yet because he doesn't know what sit means. He has to first learn the behavior by us marking and teaching him the behavior through free shaping. Hey guys, Kat here from Standing Stone, and this is Hex. He is 10 weeks old, and if you've been following along with his first video, we talked about what we did with him in the first week home. Well, now what have we been doing with him? Well, we've been following along with our step-by-step online dog training course, and over the last week, we've been spending time working on clicker for recall and clicker for sit. Next, we'll be working on clicker for place training and clicker for whoa behavior. He's just running around in our training space right now, which is completely fine. And then once I start the session, he's going to be very focused because he's ready to eat his morning meal. We actually utilize his meal for training sessions, and I'm actually using his kibble, which is Eukanuba Puppy Pro, for his training session. Come here, buddy. Hex. Come here, buddy. Good job. So he is the star of our show today, and he is ready to work. Like I mentioned, we've already worked on him learning how to recall with our cue here and touching our hand. So today we've already worked on a day's worth of training for sit. And I'm going to get my clicker out and my meal. And he's ready to work. He's very jumpy and excited, but I'm not going to reward that behavior. And I'm kind of just going to ignore it unless it becomes really excessive. So I don't know if you saw, but he did sit over there off camera when I wasn't paying attention. I'm just going to get him focused and understand that, hey, we're working now, time for some training. So, Hex. Good. So, not for jumping. There. Like I said, we've been working on sit for the last day, which is great. And when we start introducing a new behavior, I'm not actually cueing him into that behavior yet because he doesn't know what sit means. He has to first learn the behavior by us marking and teaching him the behavior through free shaping. Hex, getting his attention up high. Good. 1 to 3 days on this behavior. I'm giving him a few kibble in my hand at a time for his reward, but we spend a couple days on this behavior, and in that process I can start introducing the cue. He's exhibiting this behavior really consistently, so I know he's ready for me to introduce the cue, which is sit. So I will ask him to sit here. Hex, sit. Hex, what are you looking at? Sit. Good boy. Good boy. So I'm only going to reward him now when I ask for the sit behavior. So get his feet moving. Good. Sit. Good. It's important that when you're teaching new behaviors and working on one specific thing at a time, sit, that we're not going to start working on recalls or anything as well, because I don't want to confuse him with what we're trying to condition and teach him at this moment. Sit. And when we're starting to introduce that cue, we're going to be sit, overlaying the cue with the behavior he's exhibiting. So if he starts to do that sit behavior, that's when I'm going to cue him to do that as well, so that he can start associating the cue sit with the behavior. Sit. Looking at my feet. Movement. Dogs are very movement oriented. My timing was a little slow on that, but he sees my feet move and then he's drawn to that, and then he's not paying attention. So I want to overlay that cue sit with the behavior. Sit. Good. Sit. Good boy. He's getting better at eating his meals too. He used to be really slow. Sit. Good job. He's eating his kibbles a few more at a time, other than just one kibble at a time now. I can do small handfuls. Good. Sit. Oh, I dropped one. Sit. Hex. So he wasn't paying attention. Sit. Good. So got his attention with his name, then cued him again. Hex. Oh, that's good. So he's offering the sit behavior very consistently. No other behaviors like the recall behavior, the touch targeting behavior, which is good because that means he's understanding that this is the behavior right now he's getting rewarded for. So I'm going to focus a little more on his training session and timing. Sit, then talking to the camera. Good. Sit. Sit. Good. Sit. Moving my body position a little bit, changing things up. Sit. Dogs are very situationally and place oriented, so me literally just standing in the same position the whole time could make it really easy for him, and then if I move my feet, sit. He could be like, wait, I don't know what sit means when you're not in the same position that you've been doing this entire session with. Sit. Which is also why we try and generalize our training sessions a little bit. We'll do some training sessions here. We'll do some in the, oh, and then I just targeted you. Sit. Good. We'll do some training sessions here. We'll do some training sessions in the kitchen, in the garage, in our loft. Sit. Good. Just so that he learns that he can do this behavior anywhere. And he's comfortable in multiple different locations for his training sessions. Sit. Good. Keep in mind though, all of your different environments can add different levels of distraction, so be prepared for that if you need to. Sit. Good job, you've almost finished your whole meal, buddy. A few more handfuls here. Sit. Good. So he's doing this really well. He's offering that sit behavior very consistently. Sit. I've overlaid the cue. Sit. Good. Responded to the cue. Good boy. Sit. So now that definitely proves to me that he knows what sit means. He knows how to sit. Sit. He's like, yeah, you said it a whole bunch of times, Mom. Then his next training session, I'm going to be able to start utilizing a place board for place training, and the cue will be kennel that we'll be using for that. So that'll be his next session. Sit. Good boy. Yeah, let me see. There might not be anything left in here. Oh. 3 little crumbs. That was a nice long duration for sit too. So the clicker not only marks the behavior, but it can end the behavior as well. So that was a great job, buddy. As you can see, he's doing a great job offering that sit behavior, responding to the cue as well, which means he has a good understanding of that behavior, and we can move on to the next thing, which is another behavior that he'll be learning through clicker training. After we complete that, we'll be working on cue differentiation, where I'll actually be mixing in multiple cues in the training session and making sure he's truly responding to the cue I'm asking for. And that's just following along with that step-by-step training course, exactly like what I'm doing with this puppy at home, is what we offer for people on our standingstonesupply.com/courses to follow along as well with step-by-step training plan with their puppy at home. So until next time, I'm Kat the dog trainer, this is Hex, and we'll see you in his next video.